Is that really what you want to do? You just want to swing in with an annex like that? Boop. That just doesn't make any good sense to me, you know? Like, you gotta be missing something. Maybe I'm the one missing something, you know? Maybe they thought I was gonna block with a Koma and then they were gonna come back and take out my Koma. You crazy. You are so crazy. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're gonna be diving into the most overlooked, the least played, but should be most played card in Strixhaven School of Mages. I'm not gonna lie, I almost said call time. So, Augementer Pugilist, or we're gonna call him Augementer Fisticuffs. I hope I said that right, because somebody has, came through and said, hey, Chance, this is how you're supposed to say it. And I know I get on people's nerves here and there whenever I mispronounce words. It's just a human thing, you know? It is what it is. So we're just gonna call them the fisticuffs from now on. So when you hear me talking about that green fisticuffs, the old Brawlerooski, talking about this guy. So 3 mana 3/3 Troll Druid Trample. As long as you control 8 or more lands, this card gets +5, which means it's an 8/8 with trample for 3 mana. That's pretty insane value if you ask me personally. I know a lot of people are like, well, Chance, if you think of the logistics of when you're gonna have 8 lands on the board and not actually blah blah blah. Like, I mean, yeah, okay. Logistically, you're not always gonna use your counter magic, so stop using them in your deck, right? Ooh, burn. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about when you're gonna hit it or whatever. It's not even the main point of the deck. It's just a nice creature. Okay. The main point is actually this side, echoing equation. Today we're gonna be echoing death. It sounds a little creepy, but it is what it is. 5 mana sorcery. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature, I'm sorry, you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn. Except those creatures aren't legendaries if the creature you chose was English is hard. Was a legendary. So, what you're going to be doing here is choosing, well, really, we got a multitude of creatures you can choose, including Augementer Pugilist, Fisticuffs. So, if you manage to get one of these down, you can also echoing equation it. Well, you can turn all your creatures into 8/8 tramplers, but that's not really the big main point of the deck. No. We have other things in mind. So, Fynn the Fanebearer. We're gonna try and Fynn for the win for this 2 mana 1/3 Death Toucher. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. Now, a player that has 10 or more poison counters loses the game. So my idea here. Oh goodness, is to get down Fynn, get down a whole lot of other creatures, and then we use echoing equation, turn them all into Fynn, and one swing in, 1 turn of attacks should be enough to give our opponent 10 poison counters all at once, which I thought was pretty good. Anyways, so that is certainly one option that we have as far as copying echoing equation and just winning the game in a single turn. But I figured, that's not really going to be enough. Like, Fynn is kind of small, it's on the ground, it doesn't have any evasion outside of, the fact that it has Death Touch, which is sort of like a pseudo-evasion in some instances. But again, if the opponent's staring down 5 to 6 Fynns, they're going to be like, how about no? You know what I mean? So, but the nice thing is you only have to get through with 1 Fynn, and then all your Fynns will proc and give that poison, right? So you only need 1 creature to actually connect, and you'll still win because all of the Fynns will add 2 poison counters. So you don't actually have to be super evasive. You just need 1 creature to get through, which is why I think it's still a perfectly fine way to win and perfectly fine way to, base your deck around. But again, not enough. So we come up here and we have another creature in the top end that is also a beautiful, beautiful add in combination with Echoing Equation. And that is going to be Koma, Cosmos, Serpent. The 7 mana 6/6 can't be countered, so you don't have to worry about those annoying ass little rogues or Sultai Andes, ruining your day. Anyways, at the beginning of each upkeep, not your upkeep, but each upkeep, so yours and the opponent's, you're going to create a 3/3 blue Serpent, right? Which is going to give you creatures every single turn, yours and your opponent's, that add to the number of Echoing Equation creatures transforming into your Koma, right? So give it a few turns, let these Serpents build up, and then, use your Echoing Equation, target the Koma. All of your Serpents, all of your little Koma's cools are going to turn into the large Koma, which is, you definitely want to make sure you put a tab on which is the real Koma, because when it comes to indestructibility, you can sacrifice the other Komas and, You really only need to keep the original. But theoretically, it should be enough to win the game, right? Because you have a whole lot of 6/6s now instead of 3/3s. You just gave all your creatures +3/+3, right? So that is another way to win the game. And if that wasn't enough, we have another creature in the deck which has Death Touch, has Flying, has Lifelink, so it's already evasive. It can gain you back to whatever amount you may need, and it's honestly a great way to win the game is Nighthawk Scavenger. Again, this card gets played here's and there's and rogues, but I think honestly in this deck it's got to be a powerhouse. It's got to be something, right? Because again, you can use Echoing Equation, turn all of your creatures into Nighthawk Scavengers, and well, even if you have 5 creatures and this creature's up to 4 power, that's lethal, right? That's lethal in the sky because everything's just going to go up in the sky, and even if it's not lethal, you're going to gain like 20 life. So, you know, should get you through. Now, Echoing Equation is not going to be the only way that we do this. And for those of you wondering, Chance, you only have 2 copies of this. I only have 2 copies of this card. Y'all know me. I'm budget just like y'all. I buy the pre-release packs and then, you know, sort of go from there. Anyways, Double Major is another way we can double up on our Fynns, right? If you're going to use Double Major, though, I do more so recommend it on something like a Shovel or like a Koma or a Questing Beast. Yes, doubling up a Fynn is nice because then you swing in and you put 4 poison counters, so you realistically only have to connect with them 3 times. Generally, when the opponent sees that that's what you're going for, you know, they sort of adjust for it. They start taking out your Fynns or they look for the board wipe. So, yeah, I really like when I'm going for the Fynn win to make it a surprise and use the Echoing Equation and just sort of pop it out. Now, outside of that, we do have a slew of other new cards that we need to talk about. Tend the Pest. 2 mana instant speed at its initial cost to cast this spell. Sacrifice a creature. Create X/1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. Now, what is interesting about this card is the fact that we can set ourselves up with Echoing Equation really, really well. We can also use it if the opponent is going to remove one of our creatures or whatever. We can sort of get some value back off of it. But the main point here is, you know, setting up for Echoing Equation. So what you can do is you got a Nighthawk Scavenger, you got a Skimfar Avenger, right? You got maybe 2 creatures down, a Fynn and something else. You can sacrifice to something else, right? Gain 3 additional creatures, or even up here with Koma, you can sacrifice a Koma's cool. Gain 3 additional creatures on your opponent's turn, so that way come your turn, they're unsummoning Sickness, if that makes sense. And then you can use Echoing Equation to turn all of those pests into your Koma and immediately win the game, right? So this is sort of your... It's your answer to your opponent's removal on your own creatures to gain a little bit of value back, but it's also your answer to win the game and sort of just slip in there. Because again, it's only 2 mana instant speed. You just slide this in on your opponent's instep. Hopefully they don't have any more magic available, right? They definitely can't board wipe you in that time. And then, you know, you come back with one of these lovely ladies thing. My bobs. I don't know. Up here, we are also playing Valentin? Dean of the Vein and Lisette, Dean of the Root. I think these are really good, and honestly in this deck should be perfectly fine. We have enough life gain off the back of the Hooded Blightfang, Nighthawk, and I think it's Infused? Yeah, Infused with Vitality, right? Not to mention the fact that we also get to gain life with Shovel, and I think that's it. I thought we had the Grey Hinge in the deck, but I believe I took it out. So we do have Jaspiera Sentinel, which is going to help us to tap our other creatures, gain mana. We also have a little Elvish tribal going on here with the War Master, the Skimfar, and the Jaspiera Sentinel. This way we can draw some additional cards. We can also get down additional creatures off the back of the War Master, right? And Elves are all fairly cheap, and honestly these 3 have some pretty banging abilities. So we also have 2 copies of Mystic Reflection. This is because... This is going to be a little difficult to explain, but, you know, we're still going to do it. So, Tend the Pest allows you to create X/1/1 black and green pest creature tokens, right? Mystic Reflection says whenever, you know, the next time you have creature or planeswalker into the battlefield, they enter as target creature or whatever. So, a couple things you can do here. One, you can use 10, sacrifice your Koma. You're going to end up getting, you know, 6 1/1s, and then you can use Mystic Reflection to end up copying something like Nighthawk Scavenger. That can also be a way into victory if you don't have the Echoing Equation. However, another thing you can do, and this is, you know, where things tend to get a little complicated, is you can copy your stuff, Double Major or even Echoing Equation, right? Probably Double Major though. Takes off the legendary. effect of the Fynn, right? It gives you another copy of whatever creature you're targeting, essentially. Then what you can do is you can come back in with that token that is now no longer legendary. You can copy the crap out of it, right? Choose target non-legendary creature. It's a non-legendary now. You just made it into a non-legendary. So you can just have tons of Fynns or tons of Komas enter the battlefield for really cheap in those given scenarios. Now, I have 2 copies of this card in my deck. This is merely for fun. So if you're looking to make this deck more efficient, you're like, what cards do I cut? This is a great place to start. Now, I've gone a little long on this deck tech breakdown because I think that there's a lot of, 1, new stuff to the deck, and 2, a lot of interactions. Last thing here, Mortality Spear. If you're not playing this card, and you're in Golgari, you're gaining life at any manner, any way, any sort, or if you're just in Golgari in general, I think you should be playing this card. It's an instant speed that is potentially 2 mana, destroy target non-land permanent. Takes out Ember Cleaves, takes out Great Hinges, takes out creatures, planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts. It does it all, ladies and gentlemen. And it's only an uncommon. So if you're not playing this, you know, that's on you. It's realistically on you. Anyways, this deck tech breakdown has been super long. I do apologize about that. But if you've been enjoying the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Comment in the comment section as to what your favorite card in this here deck is, or what your favorite interaction throughout Strixhaven so far has been. You know, pretty much just answer a question for me, okay? That's all I want to see is some interaction, some human interaction. Anyways, subscribe, smash that bell icon if you enjoy the content here and you would like to see more from me personally. There's a link to a second channel down in the description below, and without further ado, we're going to dive into this Echoing Death Fisticuffs deck. Oberon? Probably Oberon. Oberon what? Get it? Anyways. I like this hand. I don't like the fact that we only have 2 lands, but yeah. You know, what would a match of mine be without mana screwage or mana flooding? You know, I can't put out content that has normal mana. That's absurd. That's absurd. That would require me to go out and ask wizards to fix their beautiful shuffler. And you know what do you want to fix? Something that's not broken? It's just absurd. It's not broken. It's normal. This is how math works. I don't know in what realm, what world y'all play in. Crazy one. Alternate universe. 1 + 1 = fish or some shit. This is magic. The math is always on point. Never ever will you get screwed by probability in this game. No way, no how. Alright, so we drew out a Nighthawk Scavenger. I'm going to hope for a land. I believe in us. I know we got some in there. Just chilling, waiting to come to the surface. Hopefully we can find some untapped land. That'd be really cool. Or, oh, what would be so beautiful is if I actually found a forest or a swamp, then that Snarl can come down untapped, you know, that good stuff. Then we can play down the untapped land on the next turn, and that good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Bam, bam. No land? No. Oh. Okay. Nope. The phone's going off, sorry. Well, hey, you know, at least you're helping me get closer to a land, so that's good. Hey, we did it. We did it. And I only had to beg and... I'm not going to finish that sentence. So, Shovel. I think it's Shovel time. We don't have enough for Nighthawk, otherwise I would love to, but we would need to have cast this down as black, and I really didn't want to do that because 1 more mana and I can have double major, which allows me to double cast down a Fynn, which could be a win. Fynn for the win? I don't know. I'm gonna put down a Shovel. A Shovel. If he can live 1 turn, and then I can take out the single creature that I target with Shovel, you know, we could be back on track to having a normal game against Mono Red. Luckily, our foe is only at 2 mana, so you know, You know? They got a Rimrock Knight? You bet to Rimrock me? Don't. I'm not gonna finish what I was gonna say there. Come on, Overon. Come over on me. Okay. So they had the. You got 2 Rimrocks. You got 2. What's better than 1? 2. All right, I can get down with that. I can get down with the business, with the sickness. So every time we attack, if we have 2 Fynns, we would add 4 poison counters, which means we would only need to attack a few times with our death touch creatures. A few. But if I go for Shovel, we can put those counters and gain life. You know, I gotta go for the Shovel. I got to double that major. Shovel. Now we just gotta block. We just gotta defend and stay alive. I believe in you. You're the bane of monsters. Unfortunately, we're not facing monsters right now. We're only facing humans. So hopefully you can be the bane of humans as well. All right. And somebody told me this was Pugilist. I hope I'm saying that right. Again, I'm gonna say fisticuffs from now on. We're gonna call it the Augementer Fisticuffs. Ooh, what to get rid of? We know in our hearts and souls, they have they got an Embercleave. There's just no way around it. Oh, this is good. It's tricky because we're not gonna get to gain life until we use it, right? Oh, that's wait a minute. Oh, so maybe we shouldn't have done Shovel. I didn't read the whole first part. Look, don't judge me. Don't judge me. We've all been there. All right, well, I guess I'm just holding on to Mortality Spear. Definitely should have went for Fynn. That's fine. This is fine. Mortality Spear is probably the poggest of draws that could have ever been pogged up, right? This card is actually incredibly strong. Why have I not seen this card being played? Costs 2 less to cast. If you gain life, you need to destroy non-land permanent. Well, yes, please. Yes, sirree. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to block the Rimrock. We're going to block the Robber of the Rich. No Rims or Robs or no R's, really. You just keep that stuff out of here. All right, so resolve. Destroy target non-land permanent. Destroy target. I wonder. What could we do with that? We're gonna live. We're gonna take out 2 other creatures. We're gonna draw a card. Oh, sick. We're gonna draw 2 cards. You know what? I take it back. What I did was 10,000% okay, and I'm happy about it. Alright, so Infuse Vitality. Whenever this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. I could go for a Fynn here. Finnaroski. Start going for the win. Fynn for the win. But if I do this... Oh, I do still have Infuse, so I could keep my creature alive as well. But if I go for the Binding, go ahead and take out a Fervent. We can gain more life, draw another card. I do love that idea. I'm sorry. It's... You know, being able to ramp, gain that life back. The opponent's only on 2 mana? You only got 2 mana? Mono Red, what's happening to you? Things aren't looking so well. You're looking a little under the weather. I also like how my mood 10,000% just turns around, right? We go from losing to winning in the matter English. In the matter of return, and I'm like, woohoo! Alright, so no blocks here. That's most obviously another Rimrock. Now, who you playing, Mono Red? I created you. That's not true, I didn't. But I'm not gonna fall for your antics, for your shenanery. Alrighty. So onto the battlefield tapped. That's right. This is why we always grab the triomes. Alright, so we are at 6 mana. 1 more and we'll have enough for the Koma. Also, I want to get my other creatures down because we're to the point of using Echoing Equation to win this shit. So wait a minute. You lose 1 life when this happens? You know, that's so hard for me to just buy into losing a life, especially when I know that I got the Finster on the backup. Oh, I wish that untapped was... That tapped was untapped, rather, so I could play this and have Infused with Vitality. I just don't know that I can do that, but I'm 10,000% going to be able to block here, and then I can use Infused with Vitality to keep them alive. Let's let them know that we're still thinking. I'm not just pulling your chain here. I'm not trying to make you think that I don't want to have this happen, you know what I mean? So no attacks. I guess we'll just leave it as is. We'll be able to get down the Koma soon, and then, you know, we can either turn everything into a Koma, or we can turn everything into a Fynn. Ooh, Torbran. This is fine. We just block all out, and then we use Infuse with Vitality, you know? You know what I mean? So block. Infuse. Now, I think Shovel is the correct answer here, just so we're all clear. But I came for a purpose. I came for a rhyme, for a reason, for a thing to do. I thought I had played that card wrong there for a second. I'm not gonna lie about it. Thought I had played that wrong. Alright, so what else do we need here? We have 2 blue. We definitely have 2 green, right? Just gonna go ahead and toss down another green, I guess. And then let's go for the Koma. Koma can defend us well against that Torbran, and well, you know, once we get Echoing Equation, turn everything into either Fynn or Koma, that should be a win. Fynn for the win. I love it. I do not love it. So we can block the Torbran with the Koma itself. Oh, you messed up. You messed up there, buddy, buster, pal, friend. I can't do this yet. I want to, but we can't. I gotta have more power. So let's go for the War Master. I actually can't get both of these down. I'm gonna go for the Nighthawk just because it is for sure life gain. You know what I mean? And realistically, voice crack. Realistically, we're about to win here. Okay, I'm about to turn everything into. I could even turn everything into a Nighthawk Scavenger. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love this card. Why are people not playing it? It's only 5 mana. It's 5 mana. Choose the biggest thing on your board, and everything becomes it. You know, whatever creature has the evasion. I don't know what I'm doing right now. This is what happens when you play against the same freaking opponents for over a year. This mono red deck, it's been here for I don't even know how long, because it has essentially just been the same thing. Granted, before, you know, we had Cavalcade, but it was still like turn 4, slam everything you got, play everything in your hand, see what happens, hope and pray, and toss sideways, you know what I mean? Is that really what you want to do? You just want to swing in with an annex like that? Boop. That just doesn't make any good sense to me, you know? Like, you gotta be missing something. Maybe I'm the one missing something, you know? Maybe they thought I was gonna block with a Koma, and then they were gonna come back and take out my Koma. You crazy. You are so crazy. So we didn't end up turning them into Fynn, and we didn't end up turning them into Koma because it's mono red, and I want to for sure ensure this victory. So I turned them all into Nighthawk Scavengers. Beautiful. That is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 30 points of damage, 30 points of life gain. I want to say GG. I want to thank you overall for being a good opponent today. For going, you know, I can't think of another pun, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. -10, we win. Ha ha ha. Take that, mono red. QK 1989. We're gonna keep this hand. I like the Sentinel into the War Master. I got a big old Koma at the end, and of course, you know, Koma with the Pugilist, the fisticuffs. Not gonna lie, I just wanted a reason to say that. I think it's gonna be good. You know, being able to turn all of the smaller Serpents to 3/3s into the 6/6. I think that'll be fine and dandy. Mono red aggro. I'm really happy whenever a new set comes out and people are like, nah, I see the new stuff, but nah. I'm gonna go for the Skimfar Avenger first, I thinketh. This way, if it does land and then they decide to remove our stuff, we'll get some card draw. So, you know, all will not be lost. I'm fairly sure they're just gonna remove the Avenger, though. Let's be real. Just gonna remove the 3/1, huh? Huh, punk? Because I don't think we get to draw if Skimfar herself dies, which is a little unfortunate, but, you know. Yeah. That's fine. I didn't like her anyways. That's why I played her first. So that way War Master could for sure, you know, come out on top. Just don't Bone Crusher my Sentinel, you know. Have a little bit of decency. It's probably my most upsetting thing about mono red aggro is the fact that it's an aggro deck with at least 8 copies of removal. And that's just ridiculous. You don't need that much removal. You playing some freaking fracking aggro. What are you a clown? All right, QK, you little QT. They're gonna let the damage ride. Wow, I was really expecting them to remove the Sentinel at some point there. But looky here, this is why QK is climbing, because they're patient. They know to wait till, you know, the very end step, and that way you get the best creature. So they're gonna Bone Crusher my Elvish War Master here. Sad, sad time. Yeah. Yeah. That is it. That is exactly it. Alright, so all we can really hope for right now, good card draw. Maybe we can hit enough mana to end up getting to that Koma before they take us out, and then you know, hey, we'll be doing all right. We'll be living La Vida awesome. Mystic Reflection, not necessarily the saving grace I was looking for right here. I am going to go ahead and grab this island out of here so we can for sure have that additional blue mana for the Koma. We got double green and double black, so now we have double blue, and I just feel a lot better about it. Shoot, I should have foretold that Mystic Reflection. Don't ask me, I just saw it and was like, yeah, that's just the cost of it. It's just going to be 2 forever now, I guess. Again, it's the first match, or one of the first matches of the day. You gotta give me a little bit of time to wake up. Whew. I'm still yawning. That's how you know you can't play good Magic, if you're yawning. Alright, QK. Can't be that hard. I mean, you have 3 mana and you're playing mono red. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Now, I can go ahead and Mystic Reflection, turn that Bone Crusher into an Annex, in which case they only get 2 1/1 tokens out of it, so... I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if that's better. It does give them more creatures, which makes Embercleave a little more accessible. What do you say? Creatures or plane? You know, I'm just going to resolve it. Whatever. I'll figure it out. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Yes. Very nice. I do enjoy drawing nothing but lands in my top end. Alright, so we only need 2 more mana. That's fine. Surely, realistically, we only need this 1 mana in our hand down, plus another creature on the board. We couldn't happen to find a creature, but that's okay. That is alright. There's one just around the corner, I know. She'll be coming around the top of the deck when she comes. Ooh, Roberto. Robert. Rob Deerdick. Robin Big. Big and Rob? What? It's Robin Big. It's gotta be Robin Big. It's a long time ago. Maybe not a long time ago, but it's an older show, you know. Older than newer ones, I suppose. It's all relative. What's going on here? What's going on here, huh? Huh, QK? You got a problem with me? Just say it, man. You don't gotta resort to all this sort of violence. Whatever. I'll go to 4. I don't even care. I'm looking for something. Double major's not it. Good game. Oh shit. All right. That's fine. On to the next one. One of these days, we'll just I'll play my deck and I'll actually play my deck. So that's the real game within Magic. For those newer players out there that don't quite understand how Magic works nowadays, half of the game is trying to find a game that's an actual game. That's the game.